When it comes to some of the hottest young talent in the NHL today, Pierre-Luc Dubois isn't the only one who has recently gotten benched. Today, I wanted to make a video about a guy who is in a similar situation and who also is projected towards being a superstar. Let's talk today about Rasmus Dahlin. And from the way that I'm talking about this right now, man, you can kind of see it. You can hear it in my voice. I really don't like this, man. The fact that we're making a video about this guy in this context, it pains my soul because Rasmus Dahlin to me was always going to be such a good player, and I was so hyped for what he was going to bring to the NHL. We all kind of know the story of Dahlin, though. He was a first overall pick in 2018. That was in my senior year of high school, 2017-2018, when Canucks fans were clamoring to lose and to tank for Dahlin so we can finally get a good number one defenseman in our prospect pool. We didn't get Dahlin, but we did get Quinn Hughes, which is probably as good of a pick as you could have made, but regardless, Dahlin was the guy that many Canucks fans wanted to tank for. He ended up going to Buffalo in his first two seasons in the NHL, 44 points and 40 points in 82 games and 59 games respectively. But this year, man, it's been tough for Rasmus Dahlin. Now, I'll say this right here. The Buffalo Sabres at the time of this recording are 1-3-1. That's not amazing. Obviously, I get it's early into the season and things can change. All it takes is one hot streak to really just turn the tides on your entire division, right? But the Buffalo Sabres are in a spot where their most recent game was a 4-3 shootout loss yesterday to the Washington Capitals. Now, the Capitals are a team that if you're opposing them, you really want to defeat Washington right now. Why? Because they don't have Samsonov, they don't have Orlov, they don't have Kuznetsov, and they don't have Ovechkin. Four of the top players on this organization, two of the top players in the league, actually, are out for the next few games because they violated the protocols. They were hanging out in a hotel room together. You've probably heard the story. But this Washington team, without four of their best guys, still ended up defeating the Buffalo Sabres. And it's a Sabres team that many people have been expecting bigger things out of because of the acquisitions they made. Cody Eakin, Taylor Hall, Eric Stahl, along with the Olofssons and the Reinhardts and the Eichels and the Skinners, etc. You had some very good pieces on this squad that people were projecting to push them forward into success. And Rasmus Dahlin was one of them. In the 5 games played in the Buffalo Sabres season thus far, Dahlin has 0 points, 2 penalty minutes right there, and a -4. Now, plus-minus isn't really the biggest thing in the world, I get that, but it still is indeed here. And we spoke about that game against the Washington Capitals where the Buffalo Sabres ended up losing, but Rasmus Dahlin had himself quite the night here on this one too. Because if you take a look at the shift log, he had himself quite a few shifts, starting things off. 7 shifts played in the first period in total, but that 6th shift, though, was one that wasn't really all too great. Because Rasmus Dahlin in this 6th shift of his, started at 4:11 left in the period, resulted in him kind of just letting Nicklas Backstrom behind him. Dahlin was just kind of hanging in front of the net. The Capitals were cycling it around. Then they passed it over to the open back door where Backstrom was there. He took it and he shot it. Dahlin didn't do anything. He just kind of turned around and watched it happen. Another shift played in the first period, and that wraps things up. He ends off the first with a 5-minute, 59-second time on ice. Okay, that's on pace for about 18 minutes. That's not terrible. Of course, 18 minutes a night for a defenseman is a little bit on the lower end of things, but still, for a guy who is supposed to be one piece of the machine that is the Buffalo Sabres, that's okay. Then in the second period, we had ourselves a few more shifts here played by Dahlin, but then on the 4th shift of the period, things get a little bit bad too. Because this time it's Jakub Vrana who squeaks in behind Dahlin. He shoots it, he scores it. Dahlin is just standing there, not really doing anything. And after Vrana scores, Dahlin looks to the ice. He takes his stick. He's like a lumberjack, seeing the wood right in front of him, and he just slams it, 2-hands it right down there on the ice. And it's so powerful, he actually kind of falls down, and it's kind of a funny clip. But Dahlin was directly involved in 2 Washington Capital goals where the guys just sneaked in behind him and he didn't really do anything about it. After that shift, he had one more shift of action. It was in the third period, with 15 minutes to go. It was on the power play, and that was it. Take a look at the game log here for Rasmus Dahlin. The first period saw him get 5:59 on the time on ice. The second period saw him get 2 minutes and 56 seconds of ice time, and the third saw him with 1:13 for a total of just over 10 minutes. Pierre-Luc Dubois is not the only young guy getting benched. Hey, Dahlin is up here too. And because of the way Dahlin has been playing thus far, and again, I get it, it's only 5 games. Things can definitely change. Buffalo Sabres fans have been kind of questioning what's going on, let's just say. Now, full disclosure, we're in the part of the video now where we're finished talking about what actually happened on the ice with Dahlin, and now we're just going over fan responses, where to go from here, and just my overall thoughts about this situation. I was mostly aware of what happened with Dahlin because I saw this post here on the Buffalo Sabres subreddit. What's up with Dahlin? And the description is just a shrugging emoji right here. And I think some of the comments over here from Sabres fans going over what it is Dahlin is going through can kind of summarize how we can view this situation together as well. Moneybags McGee says this: the same thing that's happening with Casey Mittelstadt is happening to Dahlin. He's very timid. There's no real bark. He doesn't look comfortable, nor does he look confident. He's more talented than most, but too scared to be great. We then have some more satirical kind of responses over here on this post from Landless12, for example. I'm proud of Dahlin. He's truly becoming a Buffalo Sabre. He's shaking off all that unnecessary young talent and becoming the bust no one thought he would be. He really fought hard to resist the Sabres' way in his first year or two, but he's fully immersed himself in it now, and it's a beautiful train wreck. Just sit back and enjoy the show. Obviously, he's joking. He's joking. This commenter is not telling the truth, but some commenters are very harsh, and as a result, we have funny comments like this one. Also, we had another comment over here. Now's our chance to trade him while he's only 20. We've sucked for too long to put eggs in the potential basket. He doesn't make a difference on the ice. A first overall pick, once-in-a-lifetime generational talent should be drawing the attention of the opposing team. Go watch Heiskanen and Makar, and just for the heck of it, I'll throw in Quinn Hughes. And, you know, just from the way these responses are going, you can kind of feel just how Sabres fans have been viewing Rasmus Dahlin as of late. Dahlin is a guy with a boatload of potential, and he's a guy with a boatload of expectation too. But the fact is, thus far, throughout this 2021 season, Dahlin has not played to the standard that we have as fans for Rasmus Dahlin. And it sucks because some of the other guys in that 2018 draft are doing just fine. For example, I made a video a few weeks ago talking about how even though I'm a Canucks fan that really wanted Rasmus Dahlin, I'm okay 3 years later because everything I wanted out of Dahlin is being completely fulfilled and more in Quinn Hughes. This is a guy who, at the start of the 2021 season, has probably been the Canucks' best player through and through, aside from probably JT Miller and Bo Horvat. Hughes is so confident, he is so amazing with the puck, he is so capable at just easily breezing by guys and setting up plays. It's incredible how this guy can play. Heiskanen and Makar, hey, they're doing some pretty good things as well. Makar paired up with Byram the other day too, which is absolutely incredible over there for Colorado. And Rasmus Dahlin, the other guy who is inserted into these conversations every time we talk about good young defensemen, is not holding up his fair share of that reputation. Now, of course, it's only 5 games, and that's like the 3rd time I've said that this video, because yes, I know things can change. But it's not a good look for Rasmus Dahlin to get benched 5 games into the season against a Washington Capitals team that is severely weaker than we know they could be because they're missing 4 of their top players on a team that still lost to them, man. Like, come on, Buffalo. What's going on in Buffalo? Everybody in Buffalo is kind of melting down because this team has not gotten it together yet. So talk to me in the comments what you think about this Rasmus Dahlin situation. Honestly, it surprised me so much when I saw it. It was just like, okay, I have to make a video about this. I need to make a video talking about how Rasmus Dahlin has been struggling, because this is a guy whom, if I had to guess, anybody out there who would have a tough start to the season, I would never in a million years have guessed Rasmus Dahlin, because this guy in my head is just so up there in terms of hockey playing capacity that it was almost kind of weird to even consider the idea of him having a rough start. But alas, tell me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. So that was Trollus 99, and bye.